Flight boss, bitch. For sure. Listen to the Mind of an Military Smooth. I'm the Archangel Uriel, and I'm here to carry out God duties and motherfucking responsibilities. And we're gonna talk about the compatibility between your sun and your moon. And I'm gonna do this like a little simple. You know what I'm saying? I'm not gonna go too deep. I'm gonna do this one surface level because I know I got a bunch of new subscribers. So for the most part, I want to ease y'all into this also, so y'all can like slowly but surely go into my videos, my previous videos, and y'all can hear me go deep into when I talk about fire as far as imagination and creativity and visions, because your ability to have vision, right, is to have insight. So no one else see your vision, right? So that's insight, that's enlightenment, but then it has to formulate of expression, right? So an expression is external. So we know external is an energy signature, but external is related to the energy signature of masculine. But we need to know everything is a piece of something in its own realm of reality. So you have to know how to differentiate or how to separate in this realm of reality, since we're so low underneath the water. So we have to know that everything has a yin and yang to it. So like I was saying, in the fourth, fifth, and sixth dimensional realm, your masculine has a yin and yang, and your feminine has a yin and yang. And when we talk about Lilith will be your masculine yin, not your feminine yin, your masculine yin. And for the most part, we have two doubles. You know what I'm saying? We have a double masculine and we have a double feminine. But see, you could go to all my videos so we can understand that. But I'm gonna do a quick rundown because I want to just talk about this real quick. But a quick rundown so people can get a backtrack of things. You know what I'm saying? In a nutshell, where visions and imagination and inspiration and all these things come from, in a nutshell, when I say fire, all that is back to supported by seeing and feeling. You know what I'm saying? So for the most part, like when we decipher, right now, fire is a masculine energy, but it is a masculine energy from the yin realm, not the yang realm. The yang realm is the external realm. The yin realm is the internal realm. So yin automatically is birthed by the feminine energy. You know what I'm saying? So for the most part, fire by nature is feminine, right? So, because it's internal. So you can't see someone's imagination. You can't see someone's vision. But the ability to want to express it, right? That energy signature of wanting to express, wanting to be seen, wanting to be shown, that is related to the masculine energy. So we have a feminine element that like to play out masculine energy signatures. I repeat, fire is a feminine, aka a yin element that like to play out masculine energy signatures. You see what I'm saying? So that's what makes fire the yin yang. That what makes it the feminine or the right brain yang. See what I'm saying? Then you got a right brain yin, which will be water. You see what I'm saying? So that's double yin. That's double feminine. You see what I'm saying? So those are the fillers. Fire and water are the fillers. Water feels and emotionalizes. Fire feels and sees. So fire sees the feelings and a lot of times want to express it. So a lot of times it may not be aware of how it's going to affect itself and others and may lead into transformative circumstances and situations. But for the most part, this is what's needed to see the future, aka what is not apparent yet in the present, or the presence, or what's in the present awareness that's going on right now. You see what I'm saying? Now, when we talk about water, this is emotions and honing in. This is feeling. So it's dealing with feeling also, yin realm. So this is letting you know that the subconscious, the right brain, the subconscious realm, the yin, is dealing with the feelings, right? So water feels and deal with the emotions. So it holds in. So this is the true yin and yang, water and fire. Air and earth is the true yin and yang. Once we started getting into the third dimension and got more scattered and separated, it started to differentiate and mix and mingle. But for the most part, because we have to create balance in some way, shape, or form. So those are balance. Balance and what can attract also cause friction. This is why opposites and elements in the third dimension play out in the way that they play out. Because it's not the truthful yin and yang, but it's truly there to create balance in some way, shape, or form. Or to see friction in some way, shape, or form. So when we talk about water feels and emotionalizes. So it holds in on the emotions. And it feels to see how it's going to affect itself and others. And it observes it. So it holds in on the emotions before expressing it. So that is the right brain. Those are the fillers. You have a yin and yang in the right brain. which is these natures, the natures you came from when you created your first chakras, your first light, your first masculine and feminine bodies, which is your sun and your moon, before you created Mercury, Jupiter, Gaia, Earth, and Saturn, motherfucking, you know what I'm saying? Venus, Mars, Uranus, Neptune. But for the most part, before we get into all that, now let's get into the left brain. We talk about air. Now the double masculine would be air. You know what I'm saying? Because it's left brain and it's masculine. So it's taken into the external world and it's actually relating also. So air is dealing with thinking, communicating, and analyzing, right? And when we talk about earth, it takes from the external world and holds in on it and birth that seed or hone in or take the shape and form of it. So earth like to hone in on what it took from the external world, which is the yang, because that's the yin. Now we get into the yang, the masculine, right? And this came after the fact, second coming. So the air is the spaceship, then the earth is it holds in on it. So it take from the external world, then hone in on it and practicalize it. So a lot of times the earth sign has to make sense out of what it just took in on it. Otherwise, it may not even express or try to logically communicate what it just took in unless it makes sense to it, unless they can practicalize it. Otherwise, they'd just be air, communicating everything, all the ideas out of their mind, whether it makes sense or not. But for the most part, that's where you get the masculine, feminine of this side. So you know what I'm saying? So keep that in mind. Like I told y'all, when we talk about Lilith, this is why Lilith is correlated with Earth, because Earth, Lilith is the masculine feminine, is the left brain feminine, which will be Earth. You see what I'm saying? And you got two doubles. And the two doubles will be wet and cold. So we're in the realm of reality right now, where you got the air is cold and wet is water. So for the most part, this is what y'all mostly need to understand spiritual nature and to understand how to shape and form your spiritual vehicle to go into. So you know, air is dealing with the wave, how your body is transitioning, air and water, H2O, oxygen, your hair, the flow, the conscious wave and things of that nature, the subconscious wave. And you know, keep that in mind. The subconscious of it will be the water and the conscious of it will be the air. So the air is dealing with the thinking, communicating, analyzing, rationalizing, and relating. And the subconscious of it will be honing in on it and catching the vibrations of it and the tides of it, which is the water. So that would be the wetness of it, and the coldness of it will be the goddamn air. You know what I'm saying? So when we talk about hot and dry, hot would be the fucking fire and dry would be the earth. So they're doing that on another scale. You know what I'm saying? So keep that in mind. Subconsciously will be the fire of it on that polar end, and externally will be the well, consciously will be the dry part of it, which y'all can see manifested, that you got something to stand on. So now let's break this shit down now. So your sun is your actions. Well, in a nutshell, your sun is your wants. So everything that fall under your wants is your actions, the way you act, how you see things, what you're consciously aware of, and how you view things. And it's how other people view you, and how other people are consciously aware of you, and how other people see you, and how other people see your actions. The moon is all things that's under your needs. So it's how you react and respond to the world that you are in and your ability to feel comfortable. So anytime you are in a space and location around people, places, and things that don't correlate with your energy signature, you're going to start to feel uncomfortable. Or when you're around things that do make you feel familiar or comfortable with it, you may cling on to these things. But for the most part, this is your moon. Things that tap you into what's familiar to you. So anytime you're in an unfamiliar state, a lot of times it can affect your moon sign. So depending on your moon sign, where it's at, that can kind of let you know how you express your uncomfortability to others, or how well you can express your comfortability. Now we're in a realm of reality where your sun and moon could be back to supported by 4 different archetypes, which are elements. We have fire, water, earth, air. So like I just broke that down. You know, fire is your ability to feel and see. Water is your ability to feel and emotionalize. Air is your ability to think and communicate. Earth is your ability to think and practicalize. So we got the thinkers, which is the left brainers, and we got the feelers, which is the right brainers. They just feel in 2 different ways, and they just think in 2 different ways. Air think and externally think, so they think and communicate. Earth thinks, but they internally thinks. They think and practicalize and make sense out of it. Fire feels, but externally feels, so they express their feelings and their viewpoints and their way of seeing things and their visions. Water internally feels. They feel and emotionalize. See what that world is about. See the vibration of it. See how it's going to be affecting, and see how other people correlating with their vibrations also. So now let's talk about your wants and your needs being in these placements. And let's start with the water. So let's say you have a water sun, water moon. Your wants and your needs are both in an emotional state, in a feeling state. So for the most part, when we talk about your sun, this is what you want to be seen. This is going to be your ego a lot of times. So a lot of times you want to be seen in the light of emotions and feelings. We're dealing with vibrations in some way, shape, or form. Now, remind you, a lot of times these things are not dealing with words, and it's not, aka air, and it's aka the masculine and the yang, and what can be seen, and then vice versa. And it's not dealing with the earth, aka the shape and form, with no leg to stand on. The physical representation or what's practical of what's being shown. So a lot of times logic, body language, or words is not actually what a water sign likes to even be seen for. A lot of times they like to be seen for their feelings, their vibrations, and a lot of times they like to be seen for how they can affect other people's feelings and their vibrations. So they can become a party downer, a home wrecker, or home aloner, or a comedian, or a person that can just brighten up everybody's feelings and emotions in the whole goddamn room and make everybody else feel comfortable and make everybody else feel like family and things of that nature. But for the most part, this is a person wants. Now, when their needs is in the same place, a lot of times they need these things also. So this is what makes them feel comfortable. So when they're in a place or a state of being that that doesn't resonate with how they want to be seen, or that doesn't even resonate with their true comfortable state of being, a lot of times they could get highly moody, and a lot of times that water can start to boil and start to look like fire, and then you'll start to see the super expressive or chaotic emotions and feelings out of someone, and you may not actually see the rationality or the logic coming from this person. You may just see what they're truly feeling. So for the most part, you trying to come to them in a dry, serious, or logical way may even make matters worse. So keep that in mind also. And that's dealing with the sun water, moon water. Now, sun water, moon fire. Now, for the most part, your wants, like I said once before, your wants is to be seen in an emotional, vibrational state, or wanting to deal with that nature and not wanting to deal with logic or rationality. And a lot of times your needs and how you react to respond to the world that you are in, a lot of times you feel the need to express that. So not only do you like just hone in like the double water, but now you feel the necessary need that you need to express how much you hone in a lot of times. So you want everybody else to know just how much you care. You want everybody to know just how much you let slide. You want everybody to know just how much you actually can see from other people's feelings and emotions and vibrations. Remind you, the fire is the sea. So when you got fire in the moon, this is your needs. So a lot of times you have a need to be seen, and the need is your moon, which is your true state of being, your comfortability. So a lot of times when your comfortability is not being met or not being seen by you, you're going to express some type of way for that to be seen, or express for whatever's blocking that from being seen to get the fuck out of that way. And you'll burn that and destroy that shit. So for the most part, this is your moon. And a reminder, your moon is always motivating the sun. So your moon actually motivates and makes the sun do what it wants to do. So even though the sun going to do it and look like what it look like, it's only going to do what the moon wants it to do. So the moon wants it to be expressive with the feelings. And it's going to do that in a way of wanting to be concerning, or relating its emotions and feelings with others, or just expressing its emotions and feelings in general. So this could be chaotic also, but this could be very creative, steam-like, and dreamy, and transparent. And very helpful to others. Now, water, sun, earth, moon. Now, when you got a water, sun, earth, moon, now for the most part, like I said, you already know when it comes to your wants, but then your needs is going to want to make sense, want to be practical. So a lot of times it's going to create a sextile, which you're going to create opportunities for your actions and your reactions to create some type of balance, or to be utilized by other people in some way, shape, or form, rather in a negative or positive way. But for the most part, when we talk about your moon being in earth, your true state of being and what makes you feel comfortable is shit that makes sense, not too much emotions and feelings. So a lot of times when you got the sun and water, what people see from you is emotions and feelings, but a lot of times that's just what you want to attack. But you might be the type of person who likes to analyze your emotions and feelings, and like to help other people analyze their emotions and feelings. So even though you're still a water sun, you're seen in a way, or you like to pay attention to the emotions and feelings, the way that you're doing it is your moon way, moon and earth. So you're doing it in a practical way, in a way that makes sense. So you're the quick person that's in a hurry to help someone else deal with their emotions and feelings, or to help someone else, see when they're lost in their emotions and feelings, because that's what you can see. You can see the emotions and feelings because you're water, but your moon is to react and respond to the logicality of it. So you're quick to show a person where they may be lost into their emotions and feelings, and you're quick to be hard on yourself when you're lost in your emotions and feelings. So you may even go through those little battles from time to time also, but for the most part, this is what makes you you. Now, sun, water, moon, air. So for the most part, your needs is going to want to communicate, relate in some type of way, conversate, or to be curious, or to use logic, or, you know what I'm saying, to see forms of information, and to analyze information without being too deep into the emotions also. So like I said, even though you're sun and water, you're still going to be emotional. The way that's going to be seen is in a non-emotional way. So you may not even be seen as emotional as the sun, water, and earth, moon, because y'all can still be seen as emotional, but a lot of times it's just because y'all overstressing a detail or overstressing what makes sense, and a lot of times it's still seen as emotional, even though you may not truly feel emotional with the sun and water and the moon and earth. But when you got the sun and water and moon and air, this like a bright sunny day or thunderstorm. So you may not even be emotional unless you're truly upset. When someone truly make you upset, then you'll rain down a bunch of prophetic words that'll kill somebody emotionally. You see what I'm saying? But besides that, you're more thinkers and things of that nature. So for the most part, with the water, sun, air, moon, you guys like to think about analyzing and being light and rationalizing and seeing things from other people's point of view before coming to a conclusion that may affect people emotionally in some way, shape, or form. Then you know how to utilize your words and know how to make it come out as an influential way or an effective way. So your words mean a lot if you got a sun sign, water, moon, air. See what I'm saying? Your words mean a lot. Now let's go to fire. Fire, sun. Let me light up in this motherfucker. Fire, sun, fire, moon. Now I got this right here and ascendant, but let's break this down. Right now, your wants, how you're seeing, and what you're consciously aware of, right, is to feel and to be expressive. So this is what you want. This is your ego. This is how you see things a lot of times. You like to see the expression of something, the inspiration of something, the creativity of something, the shapeless or formless of something, aka the potential of something. Not after it's already rooted and accumulated, aka earth, which what fire signs need to learn from, but the potential, and actually the hard work you need to learn from earth signs also to follow through with